KONDOSAN.
Once upon a time, Rapunzel went to the forest to pick mushrooms with her beloved unicorn hero. They were happy.
Prince Harry loves mushroom soup. He'll enjoy this one.
I'm sure of it.
Suddenly, they heard a voice.
Celine! Where are you, Celine?
Rapunzel and Hero looked around, trying to see who it was.
Where's that voice coming from?
Look there! A child!
Let's go to him.
Rapunzel and Hero immediately went to the boy.
Who are you? Who are you calling? Why are you alone in the woods?
My name is Theo, and I'm looking for my sister. She got lost in the forest.
So your sister disappeared?
Yes, we were picking blackberries and she disappeared. I'm so afraid I run into the bad lumberjack.
Who was the bad lumberjack?
He's a child kidnapper. He kidnaps children and sells them in town.
Whoa! No way! This lumberjack is really a wicked person.
He lives in the muddy lake in the forest. I'm terrified thinking that he could find and kidnap my sister. Celine is very young.
Rapunzel and Hero get so upset about Theo's situation.
Don't worry, Theo. Together we'll search and find Celine.
So they set off into the forest to find Theo's sister.
Celine!
Celine, where are you?
Meanwhile, Celine was frightened as she was in a desolate area. The bad lumberjack took the logs, and as he made his way back to his cabin, he saw the little girl crying alone.
Ha 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 ha! My lucky day. A little child alone in the forest. Hello, little girl. Are you lost in the forest? You don't have to be afraid of me. I can help you. Come with me. Let's find your family.
The lumberjack tricked Celine by telling her that he would take her to her family and take her with him. When he got to his cabin, he imprisoned Celine in the barn where he kept the other children and laughed.
Look, guys, I brought you a new friend. Ha 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 ha!
Little Celine realised that the lumberjack had tricked her. She was scared and started crying. Rapunzel, Hero and Theo continued to search for Celine in the forest.
Celine! Hey, Celine!
I think we should find that lumberjack's cabin.
Yes, Hero is right. Let's go to the muddy lake.
Meanwhile, the bad lumberjack was on his way to take the kids to town.
I will sell you to smugglers and make a lot of money. Ha 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 ha!
Rapunzel, Hero and Theo finally found the lumberjack's cabin.
There's the lumberjack's cabin.
They approached and looked inside.
This cabin is empty. There is no one.
There is something here on the ground.
This is my sister's hairpin.
Look, the wheel tracks must belong to the lumberjack's cart.
He took my sister. He will sell her to the smugglers.
Get on my back. I know the shortcut to town.
When Hero took Rapunzel and Theo through the shortcut, they caught up with the lumberjack. He had stopped his cart under a tree to take a break and eat.
He's over there. He took a lunch break.
I can't believe it. The cage is full of children.
Celine is among them. I see her. How do we save them?
The bad lumberjack gets sleepy.
Oh. I'm feeling sleepy. I think I'll take a nap. Stop crying. I'll rest here for a while and then we'll continue on our way.
Look, the lumberjack is asleep. Let's go save the kids. Don't worry, guys. We'll save you. Don't make a sound.
Just then, a fly landed on the nose of the sleeping lumberjack.
Get off, you filthy fly! Hey, what's going on here? Who are you?
Oh, he's awake! Theo, run!
Come here, kiddo. Did you think you could escape?
Oh no, he caught Theo!
Let's get away quickly, hero, or he'll catch us too.
So you were going to save your friends? Then you go over to them.
Celine, don't be afraid, sister. I'm with you now. We'll be safe, don't worry.
Really lucky day. Ha 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 ha. I'll sell another child.
Rapunzel and Hero tried to come up with a plan to save the children.
What are we going to do, hero? How are we going to save the kids from that bad guy?
I have a plan.
Just as the evil lumberjack was about to continue on his way, Hero planted herself in front of him and stopped him.
Hey, ugly horse with horns. Why are you standing there? Get out of my way.
Meanwhile, Rapunzel stuck a thick piece of wood into the cart's wheel without being seen by the lumberjack.
Come on. Finally, the odd-looking horse went away.
But the cart wouldn't move.
Why isn't this piece of junk moving? Let me take a look. What the heck is this? A stake stuck in my wheel?
Now you will see.
Ah! Oh my!
Rapunzel!
Theo, Celine, you're saved! Come on, guys, let's get out of this cage. You're going home.
You saved us! Thank you!
Theo, do you know these kids?
Yes, they're all children from our village and the neighboring village.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's go to your village.
The bad lumberjack was shouting furiously from the stream he was rolling in.
Brats! You'll see! I'll catch you and destroy you!
They all laughed at the lumberjack.
Even the frog is laughing at you.
Rapunzel and Hero were very happy to save Theo, Celine, and the other children. Rapunzel is known for her beauty and kindness. A princess from a distant land that had deserts wanted to meet Rapunzel, so she invited her to her country. Rapunzel told her beloved unicorn Hero about it.
So, the princess of the desert land invited you to her country.
Yes, hero. I'm thrilled about this invitation because I've always wanted to see this desert land.
So, are you going?
Yes, I spoke to Prince Harry. I'll have to take a cruise.
Fantastic! You'll have so much to tell me when you get back.
But I don't want to go without you. Will you go with me?
Hooray! I thought you'd never ask. Yippee!
I'm so happy you're coming along. We're leaving tomorrow aboard the royal ship.
Rapunzel and Hero crossed the seas and arrived in a faraway country where the king there welcomed them. The king gave them the royal treatment and had a delicious banquet prepared for them.
You look sad, my king. What's troubling you? And where's the princess? I'd like to meet her.
The king explained that the wicked desert witch had kidnapped his daughter. He had searched for her everywhere, but couldn't find her.
Oh, I see. The desert witch kidnapped the princess. I'm so sorry to hear this. Your Majesty, please let me and Hero search for the princess and save her from the evil witch. Could you show me where the witch lives? We'll undertake a challenging journey, hero. Are you ready?
Yes, of course, I'm ready.
We must save the princess from that cruel witch and bring her back to her father.
Let's go then.
Rapunzel and Hero set out accompanied by soldiers mounted on camels that the king had provided. As they walked through the desert, a dark sandstorm suddenly appeared before them and they couldn't see anything.
Don't leave my side. Cover your face. What on earth is going on?
That's probably the desert witch is doing. She knows we're looking for the princess.
The soldiers are leaving.
Hey, wait, don't go, come back!
When the sandstorm was over, there was no one around.
Everyone's gone, even the camels.
We don't have water or food with us. What are we going to do?
We have to move on. Maybe we'll find water somewhere.
They continued on their way. A little disheartened, but they didn't have the strength to withstand the scorching heat of the desert.
Can't take another step.
Don't lose hope. I will help you.
It's probably a mirage. I'm so thirsty that I'm imagining things.
How can we both have the same mirage?
It's not a mirage. I'm the good fairy.
Wow, I can't believe my eyes. How did that happen?
Hooray! Water! Yippee!
Rapunzel and Hero drank water until they quenched their thirst. The good fairy also told them where the princess was.
The witch of the desert imprisoned the princess in the temple of evil. I'll help you save her.
So they continued on their way. With the help of the good fairy, they found the temple of evil.
Let's go in, hero. The princess must be inside.
The witch knew they were coming, so she was prepared.
Let's see, you wretched people. I was waiting for you.
Rapunzel, watch out!
What are we going to do?
I get to choose your ending. What will it be? Fire or the abyss?
Come on, get on the flying carpet now.
Hero, get on the flying carpet, quick!
So, you're getting help from the good fairy, huh? But it won't work, you'll see.
Hero saw the princess chained to a column.
The princess! She is over there!
Come on, hurry up! Let's save her!
The witch suddenly appeared before them.
So you think you can save the princess, huh?
Hey, what's going on? Where does this sand come from?
The witch wants to bury us in sand.
This will be your sad ending, you wannabe heroes!
At that moment, the good fairy appeared.
You again? Good fairy, where are you? Come out wherever you are.
Don't worry, princess. We'll save you from that witch.
Hurry up! The witch can come any moment!
I can't unlock the chain. It's locked with a magic spell.
The good fairy came to the rescue once again.
Get the princess out of here quickly.
Let's get out quick, hero. Fly! Come on!
But the witch had no intention of letting them go.
You won't be able to escape from me!
Come on, hero, faster! The witch is after us!
Take this!
Oh, my head! I can't see anything! Oh, help!
Hero, the door's closing, quickly!
The good fairy met them outside the temple.
You did a great job. Well done, you guys.
We couldn't have saved the princess without you.
I only helped a little, but I just have one more thing to do for you.
What's that?
It's nearly impossible to cross the desert again. You can go back on this.
Thank you very much for your help.
My mission is always to help good people like you.
Goodbye, good fairy.
So together they flew to the palace. The king was thrilled to have his daughter back. The princess didn't know how to thank Rapunzel, so she presented her with many gifts.
We're so happy to have met the king and you, princess. Please come and visit us whenever you'd like.
So Rapunzel and Hero said goodbye to the king and the princess. They left the palace and went back home to their country.
Once upon a time, in a small house there lived a young married couple. They were a very happy couple and were expecting a baby.
I know it's important for our baby to be healthy, but I do hope we have a daughter, my love.
Yes, I would love to have a daughter too. God willing, we'll have a daughter that will look like you.
The day of the birth was getting closer, and the young mother excitedly awaited the birth of her baby. Every day the mother would look out the window and over the high wall and admire her neighbour's garden filled with flowers and fruits. One day she noticed a yellow-leaf plant that she had never seen before.
I wonder what the name of that plant is. It smells wonderful. I'm sure it tastes amazing too. I have to eat that plant. I will go straight to my neighbor and ask her.
Without wasting any time, the young mother left the house. But she had no idea that her next-door neighbor was a cruel witch. She knocked on the door, unaware of the danger that awaited her.
Ooh. Hello, neighbor. The yellow plant in your garden smells amazing. I'm pregnant and really craving for it. Is it an edible plant?
Of course. I can give you a little. It tastes incredible and it's really good for humans.
Then it'll be good for my baby too.
Of course, dear neighbour. Especially for expecting mothers. But remember, because it's so valuable, you may only take one.
Everything is going just as I planned.
The young woman finished eating the piece she had taken as soon as she got home, but she wanted to eat more.
Bring me more. If I don't eat it, I can't have this baby.
Don't worry. I'll do everything I can to bring you more of that yellow plant.
As night fell and it got dark, the helpless husband climbed over the tall wall and took the plant that his wife wanted. This went on for some time. Every night, the young man secretly entered the garden, but he was uneasy about entering his neighbour's garden without permission. The bad witch had actually grown this plant to set up a trap to them. She knew that her neighbour was expecting a baby and that she would definitely crave for this with its smell. She had her eye on the baby for a long time. She was going to take the baby one way or another. One evening, as the man entered the garden again, the witch caught him red-handed. She now had the appearance of a witch. She was very ugly and was extremely scary looking. The poor man was frightened.
Please forgive me.
My wife is pregnant and she can't stop eating this plant.
I was forced to do this because you said she could only take one.
I know this is wrong, but if she doesn't eat it, I'm afraid that my wife will die.
I'm in a very tough situation.
I'll accept your apology only with one condition. You must give me the baby that is to be born. If not, I'll destroy all of you.
The man had to accept this condition. When the time of the birth arrived, a beautiful baby girl was born. The witch went to their house immediately.
Her name shall be Rapunzel. You shall raise her until she turns 1. In exactly 1 year, I will come and take her from you.
The helpless couple accepted. When Rapunzel turned 1, the witch came and took the crying baby away from her mother and father and locked up the baby in a tower in the middle of the forest. She was going to raise the baby there. Many years passed. Rapunzel was now a beautiful young girl. As she had never cut her hair, it was several meters long. Her hair was golden blonde. She had deep green eyes. Whenever the witch went to the tower, she would call out to her.
My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down.
Rapunzel would throw her long braid down, and the witch would climb up to the tower using her hair. Rapunzel thought that the witch was her mother. As she had never seen anyone else other than the witch until now, Rapunzel thought that she and her mother were the only ones in this world. She had a wonderful voice. She sang all day long until nightfall. Her voice echoed across the forest, and all the birds would fly to the window to listen to her. Birds were her only friends. One day, a prince was wandering around the forest. When he heard Rapunzel singing, he wondered where this marvelous sound was coming from. As he followed the direction of the sound, he approached the tower and realized the voice was coming from there.
I must meet the girl with this amazing voice. I wonder how I can go up this tower.
As he desperately walked round and round the tower, he suddenly saw a witch calling to the top of the tower. He hid behind a tree at once and watched.
My dear blonde-haired girl, I'm here. Let your hair down.
Rapunzel let down her braided hair, and the witch climbed up to the tower.
I found how to go up the tower.
Having waited for the witch to leave, the prince now called out to the tower, impersonating the voice of the witch.
My girl, please let down your beautiful blonde hair again. I forgot something up there.
I'm letting it down right away, Mother.
With one swift move, she let down her hair again. The prince climbed up the tower using her hair and met Rapunzel. It was the first time in her life that the beautiful girl was seeing another person.
Ah! Who are you? Why are you here? Where is my mother?
There's no need to be afraid. I'm the prince of this country. Your wonderful voice brought me here. To come up here, I had to impersonate your mother's voice.
Rapunzel, who at first was very frightened, slowly realized that he wasn't a bad person. The prince was already charmed by her beauty.
Ooh.
Days and months passed by. The prince was coming to the tower every day. When they spent time together, they didn't realize how fast the time passed. Then, he finally proposed to Rapunzel.
Rapunzel, I want to live with you for the rest of my life. Will you marry me?
Of course I'll marry you.
I must now return to the palace.
I will try and find a solution to get you out of here at once.
Rapunzel was very excited that she would finally see the outside world once she married the prince. She was so bored of living alone in the tower for all those years. He held Rapunzel's hair and headed down the tower. Unfortunately, the witch was there too and saw the prince. She immediately understood what was going on. She raged with anger. As Rapunzel was pulling her hair back up again, the witch held onto it and climbed up. She was so annoyed and furious.
What's going on? Who's that just left? I've been hiding you up here to protect you from evil, but you've been talking to strangers and making friends with them.
He's the prince of this country. He asked for my hand in marriage, and I accepted. I'm so happy, Mother. I was waiting for you to come and tell you all about it.
What? What nonsense is this? I'll show you.
The witch was so angry that with a pair of scissors she cut Rapunzel's long hair short as can be. And with her magic, she then sent her to a very faraway country. When the prince arrived at the tower the next day, he had no idea that the witch was waiting for him in the tower.
Hi, Rapunzel. I'm here. Let down your hair, please.
The witch let down the long braid that she had cut from Rapunzel's hair. When the prince reached the window of the tower, the witch was there to meet him. He was terrified the moment he saw her.
What a surprise, huh? You thought you were going to be able to take my girl away who I've hidden for years?
As the witch let go of the braid, the terrified prince found himself on the floor. He fell on top of the bushes, but since he hit his head, he was blinded. Rapunzel was ever present in the prince's mind. So mounted on his horse, he searched for her everywhere. He swore that even if he had to go to the end of the world, he would find her. He searched and searched and searched for a very long time. Finally, one day, he heard a song. The voice was familiar to him.
This is Rapunzel's voice. I finally found her.
Galloping on his horse, he headed straight towards the sweet voice. He came to the door of the house Rapunzel was staying in.
Rapunzel, I'm here. Open the door.
I can't believe it. Is it really you?
As Rapunzel opened the door, she cried when she saw the prince. She cried so much that her tears fell on the prince's face as he was kneeling. Her tears were miraculous, joyful tears. Suddenly, the blind prince opened his eyes. They hugged each other joyfully and celebrated this miracle. The prince was finally able to propose officially. They returned to the palace and started preparing for the wedding. Upon their return, Rapunzel and the prince looked for her real parents so they could share their news. They were incredibly happy to be reunited with their daughter after all these years. They had a beautiful wedding and they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, there lived a family who had a daughter named Cinderella. They were a very happy family. However, once their kind-hearted mother suddenly passed away, their happiness came to an end. Cinderella's father married another woman soon after. The woman had 2 spoiled and spiteful daughters. They were just as unkind as their mother. They all came to live in the house. Cinderella now had 2 stepsisters and a stepmother. Everyone loved Cinderella, who was incredibly kind and beautiful. She had long blonde hair, ocean blue-colored eyes, and delicate feet and hands. She was a girl who enjoyed helping everyone around her, cooked delicious meals, loved plants, and protected animals. Out of jealousy, the stepsisters made sure to make Cinderella's life miserable. They made her do all the housework and used her as the housemaid. Her only friend was a tabby cat. When she finished her chores, she would take her cat on her lap, sit by the fireplace, and tell him about her misfortune. She always told him how much she missed her mother. That's why Cinderella was nicknamed Cindercat. Unfortunately, soon after, her father died too. The stepsisters and stepmother gave Cinderella a room in the attic.
You can't stay on the same floor as us. You're better suited up there. Please, let me and my cat get warmed up by the fireplace.
Only after we go to bed. The ashes of the fireplace should be enough for you. Your clothes are ripped and torn. We don't want to see you around.
Poor Cinderella accepted her fate. Every night she would sit next to the fireplace and try to warm herself with the cinders left in it. One day, a soldier stopped by their home to invite all girls who were of age to marry to a ball at the palace.
Our king is to leave his throne to his son. The only condition is for him to marry a suitable girl. How many girls are there in this house who are of age?
Joyously, the mother presented her own 2 daughters.
I have 2 beautiful girls.
Then who is that girl that I see in the kitchen wiping the floors?
She's our housemaid. How could we bring her to the palace?
It doesn't matter. I must write her name down as well.
Even if you write her name down, it won't matter. She has no clothes or shoes to wear. Go ahead, write it down.
Cinderella begged her stepmother,
Please, give me one of my sister's dresses, so I can come too.
No, you will not go. You will clean the floors until we come back. Do you think the prince will choose you over my daughters, the Cindercat?
The 3 of them mocked Cinderella and chased her away. Finally, the day of the ball arrived.
Ooh!
All dressed up, they went to the ball and left Cinderella behind. Cinderella cried hopelessly. Right at that moment, a glowing fairy appeared before Cinderella.
Don't worry, I'll get you to the ball.
Who are you?
I'm the good fairy who helps kind-hearted girls. Your mother has sent me here to help you. She is watching over you from above. Let's get to it. Find me a large pumpkin and 6 mice.
Cinderella did what the fairy asked of her right away. She brought the pumpkin, and the mice in her room, who were already her friends, came running to help. With the wand in her hand, the fairy turned the pumpkin into a fantastic carriage. 4 mice into white horses, 1 mouse into a coachman, and 1 into a footman. Finally, it was Cinderella's turn. The fairy touched her head with her wand and turned her into a wonderful princess.
Remember, don't stay past midnight. The spell will break after 12 o'clock. You must leave the ball before 12. Good luck.
Cinderella got in the carriage and went straight to the palace. As soon as she entered the ballroom, everyone stared at her and held their breath. They were curious to learn who she was. She must be a princess from another country. They asked themselves who else would arrive in such a magnificent carriage and wear exquisite jewels. The prince, who saw Cinderella, came up to her immediately.
My lady, will you dance with me?
With pleasure, His Royal Highness.
It was love at first sight. The prince danced with Cinderella all night. The king and queen also really liked Cinderella. This girl would suit us and our palace as well. She's noble and beautiful. We have found our bride. All the other girls at the ball, including the stepmother and stepsisters, were huffing and puffing with jealousy.
Where do you come from? Where do you live? What's your name?
Time passed by really quickly. Cinderella, who saw that it was almost 12 o'clock, left the prince unexpectedly and ran out of the palace. As she hurried down the palace stairs, she lost one of her glass shoes. But because she was in such a hurry, she left it behind, got in the carriage, and went home. At exactly midnight, everything turned into what it was before. The prince, who had run after Cinderella, was in complete shock. He hadn't been able to catch up to her, but he found her glass shoe on the stairs. When Cinderella came home, she was surprised at what she saw. The house was sparkling clean. There was even a hot soup brewing on the stove. The fairy had sorted this out too. When Cinderella went to her room, she was very sad.
But what now? I'll never be able to see the prince again.
Don't worry. Everything will be okay.
Meanwhile, the prince thought only about the beautiful girl who had run away from the ball.
I must find her. I will take no other as my queen. Tomorrow we will try this shoe on every girl's foot that attended the ball last night and across the city. If the shoe fits someone, then that girl will be my queen.
The next day, soldiers walked door to door and asked all the girls who had attended the ball to try on the glass shoe. Everyone wore the shoe with excitement, but it didn't fit anyone. Finally, it was time for Cinderella's home. Everyone was incredibly excited. The stepsisters spent hours massaging and creaming their feet in order to shorten them. And they locked Cinderella in the attic. Yet, the shoe didn't fit either of the sisters' feet.
Come on.
Just as the soldiers were about to leave, they heard a sound from upstairs. Cinderella had managed to catch their attention by knocking down a cupboard.
What's that sound? Who's upstairs?
The house cat. There's no one.
No cat can make such a noise. Don't lie. Let's go upstairs and have a look.
Immediately.
Huh?
They got Cinderella out of the locked room and asked her to try on the glass shoe.
Oh.
The shoe fit perfectly. Cinderella showed them the other pair. The soldiers knew that they had found the princess and ran to the palace to deliver the good news. The prince joyously arrived at Cinderella's house and recognized her right away.
Will you marry me and be my princess?
Having received the answer as yes, he took her to the palace. Cinderella told him about everything that had happened to her.
Everything was fine.
They got married with a wedding lasting 40 days and 40 nights. The first thing Cinderella did was to have her tabby cat brought to the palace. They lived happily ever after, and the good fairy looked over them at all times.